Good morning, guys. Welcome back. We'll be continuing today the Ansible session. So today is the Ansible day 6 session, and today the date is 26th of your Jan 2025, and the timing is morning 9:11 a.m. IST. So thank you guys for joining today's call because it is Sunday as well as it is a Republic Day to all of us. So firstly, happy Republic to everyone, and uh, anyway, I'm thankful for you guys that you have like you made your time free for attending this session. It's Sunday, right? So still people are interested to understand or learn the things. So thank you guys for that. So now, so in our previous session, before we start, let us see what exactly we did on day 5 session. In the day 5 session, we try to understand about mainly on the Ansible configuration files, right? As well as I added one more node as a node 2. So if you go here and if you try to go into our AWS account, you could see that we have node 2 also. So all these three servers are made it up and running. Okay. So we try to configure, do all the same step, whatever we follow to do to configure Ansible Control Manager as well as a node 1. The same step we even followed it and we try to add the node. In tomorrow, what we'll do that? We're going to add one more node as a node 3. That would be a Red Hat or CentOS or some other distribution because the Ansible server, it has to communicate to any Unix or Linux based operating system, right? It could be Red Hat, it could be Ubuntu, or it could be Amazon Linux, or it could be SUSE. Any distribution, the Ansible should support it. Of course, even Ansible also supports your Windows platform also, right? If you're having Windows OS, sorry, Windows machine, even it will support that also. We'll see that later. Once we add any node, which is a Windows based, how the Ansible can communicate with the Windows based operating system or Windows node, that we'll try to see it. That is also one of the use case ways where they ask an interview. So apart from this, we had covered about mainly on the configuration itself. I think we had discussed a lot, and that's how we covered in the day 5, right? So in the day 6, what we're going to cover, we will try to learn or we'll try to understand about the models today. So what are Ansible models, right? So and also uh, we'll also see like how to use the how to use the models in the command line. It means that in the command line, whenever you're using any models in the command line, we call that as an ad hoc command or ad hoc model. We'll say ad hoc way of using, ad hoc way of using model. So today topic will be morely on model itself because we have to cover a lot of models, how it work, how in the command line it works, everything we have to understand it. Okay, that's our no, that's what that's what we'll be learning in the models. And in models, when we come with the models, Ansible supports a lot of models. More than 5,000 plus models are there. But being a being a DevOps engineer, like minimum you should know, minimum, just saying some 30 to 40 models you should be aware of. So if you know more and more models and you have used those models in your project work, right? Then you can tell like what kind of a models you have used at your project and why you have used that model, everything. You can tell to the interviewer because interview will also ask you that how many models you have used in your real time or in your projects and all. So when they'll ask that thing and all, say for example, when you apply for a job and when there is a job requirement where they are looking only on mostly on the Ansible itself they're looking for because in many companies there are a lot of projects are the way they need a people who work mostly on Ansible, particularly on Ansible playbook file or roles and all, right? Ginger templating when where the people write all those stuffs. So they are more interested to check from the candidate more on the Ansible part only, right? So in that case, what happened? They will be more interested to know about how many models you know. That's what, right? Otherwise, you will see that, right? One of the questions usually people ask, a lot of people ask that, how many jobs requirement will be there purely on Ansible itself? So guys, the job requirement would be purely on Ansible. It's not like every company uses Ansible. That is also not true that every company uses Ansible. Most of the companies have started using Ansible. Okay, but it's not like all the companies actually, right? So in if you ask me companies, I would say that minimum some 3 to 4 companies are using Ansible. Minimum, right? It could be more than that also. So when you are applying for a job, definitely what happened, right? In your resume, the configuration management tool, right? That you are aware of the configuration management tool, that information should be there in your resume. So, like for example, if you say that okay, I have worked on Chef, I have worked on Puppet, or I have worked on Ansible, right? Or I have worked on Salt Stack. Any of this configuration management tool, that information should be there in your resume, because your configuration management tool, that is Ansible or Chef, it will come as a part of the DevOps CI/CD pipeline. So 100%, whenever you attend an interview, they will even ask you some 1 or 2 questions even in Ansible also. So we should be aware of even the Ansible also. Is it fine? Okay, fine. Good. Now, so we know that what exactly model is all about. Model is basically, a model is a small executable code used by Ansible to perform certain tasks. So as I said, right, whenever we are executing anything or whenever we want to perform any task in Ansible, right, the model is the one actually which does or which performs all the tasks, right? And all this models are written in Python, Python language, right? That's all. Okay, so what we are going to see, guys, today we are going to understand about few models. Like I'll be discussing on some 5 to 6 models we'll discuss. So we will see how exactly this model works, and also we'll try to see in the command line, that is an ad hoc way, how we can make use of it, right? So now, for example, if we take an example, let us try to construct the diagram. And let me take, this is an Ansible server, and these two are the nodes actually. These two are the worker node. So in this case, we are having two worker nodes, right? Right. So this is nothing but the node 1 and node. And we have did all those connectivity where the Ansible server can talk or can communicate to the node, right? So all those setup is done now. Now the thing is that, so these nodes are there, okay? Now, whenever the Ansible server want to communicate with the node, one of the method of communicating with the node is through the ad hoc command or through ad hoc way of. It means that you can use a command line. You can use an Ansible command line to communicate. That is the first method. And the second method is to write a playbook file. So the playbook file also we can communicate. It means that the Ansible server, whenever we want to communicate with the node, it can communicate with the way with the help of a command line, which is nothing but the ad hoc way we say. We call this as the ad hoc way. Ad hoc way. And the second is a playbook file. Okay. Now assume that your Ansible server, it want to know like how long this node 1 is up and running. It means that how long this system is up and running. So there is a command by name uptime command. If you execute this command in your Linux machine, it will show you that okay, this server is up and running from so and so number of days or so many number of hours, like that it will show you. So like usually this command you can try out in your Linux machine, it will show you. Same thing, for example, like if you want to understand about like how much is your RAM memory, there is a command by name of free command with a free -m option. You will able to get the RAM size. It means that how much is your RAM memory, right? So these are the commands. So now the question comes that can we use these commands, okay, to make sure that through ad hoc way I can able to get the information about uptime and the free -m? Yes, you can do it actually, right? So now, am I clear, sir? Okay, good. Now what I'll do that, let us try to log in into the servers now. So I will try to copy the public IP of the Ansible server and go over here and I'll log into the terminal. So I'll launch this terminal. So now you know very well that, guys, now whenever I want to log into this terminal, into the server, we know that the default user for all these servers is a Ubuntu. So how I used to do that? I used to go to the downloads, right? And I used to do a sudo, sorry, not sudo, ssh hyphen I, ansible.pem, right? Ubuntu at the rate, give the public IP, right? Like this. We used to always log in this way. This is also okay. And also then later we used to switch to the DevOps user. But we know already that this Ansible server or node 1, node 2, we have already configured everything as a, we have configured our user by name DevOps, right? So why don't we directly log in as a DevOps user only, right? So we can directly log in as a DevOps. So in that case, I can be anywhere. I can just do SSH DevOps at the rate, give the public IP address of the Ansible control manager. So it will ask you for the password. You have to give the password. The password is also DevOps in my case. You could see that I'm able to directly log into this. So is it fine? Yes, sir. This is also correct, right? Okay. Same thing, like we'll go with the node 1 and I'll copy the public IP, open one more terminal. So what I'll do, I'll say just SSH DevOps at the rate, give the public IP of the node 1 and it'll ask me for the password. I will give the node password as a DevOps itself. I'm able to log into the node 1. Same thing with the node 3. SSH DevOps at the rate, give the IP address of the node 2. And then, yeah. So this is how. Okay, guys. Now, firstly, you have to first see whether you're able to reach or not all the servers. So what you'll do, I'll just say Ansible. So firstly, if you do ls, can you see there's an inventory file is there? Yes. You do the cd to the inventory. Yes. You will say ls. Sorry, you say ls. There is a my host and this there. If you open the my host file, okay, this file has these two IP addresses, right? So what I will do that I will try to copy these two IP addresses, okay, and then like I will open, I'll go come out here and I'll just say sudo vi etc ansible host file. Open this file, try to insert it, paste it over here. So here I'm pasting because this is a global host file. Okay, anyway, I've added this tool, right? Now, how to verify it, whether the Ansible works or not? So, I mean, Ansible able to reach the nodes on. So, to just say Ansible all -m and ping model. So, you could make out that it is showing you that it is able to reach out, right? So now, so when you execute this command, guys, you are also seeing that actually it is showing some warning and all, right? It is showing you some warning like perform Linux is using the discovered Python interpreter at use, but future installation of another Python interpreter could change the meaning of this path. See something like that. It is showing you a warning. So whenever you get any warnings, what you can understand, okay, this warning is for the user itself, the end user, right? Because he's giving some warning saying that it has discovered the interpreted Python, right? And this is what it is saying. If tomorrow, if this path changes and all right, then what happen? Your Ansible might not work. Like that, he is giving some warning actually. So this is kind of a warning which always pops up for when you're executing any task actually. So if you want to suppress this warnings, you can basically, I think, let me check it out. You can open the vi etc ansible etc ansible ansible.cfg file, and you could see that I will just check it actually because I am also not sure. If I open this file, okay, and if I search for that warning, right? So warning, where is it? Sorry, warning. Uh, One second. Let me go to top. Let me go to the warning. Yeah, something action warning is true. Can you may see it? Action warning, something true is there. Okay, let me do thing. Let me open. Sorry, let me remove this code and let me make it false actually. Save this file. Now we try to do an Ansible. Now let's see whether warning it shows or not. Now you could see that it is, oh, the warning is coming over here. So again, you need to check it out. So this is how you need to see to this configuration file, and you have to make sure that like the warnings will get suppressed actually. But in the real time, we shouldn't do this suppression and all. Why? Because that if you are getting some important warnings, you'll be able to understand like why we are getting this warning and how to fix this warning. So that in the near future, we should not face any problem when you're working on it, right? That's what these important warnings always pops up. Okay. That's how this important warning pops up. Anyway, that is fine for us. Like it has not been suppressed over here, but here it is showing again in everything in the green color itself. Actually, nothing is there. So it is a part of this itself. Actually, that's fine for us. So now what I'm trying to do that I'm able to reach out to both these nodes. Actually, good. Now to understand it, actually, right? So to understand better, the Ansible it provides the first two models, what we can understand, Ansible models. So some important models are there, right? What are those models? Say, for example, you have a model by name command model, and you have something like a raw model. So these are two important models we'll see right now. So as I said right earlier, we are having these two servers. I need to check like what is an uptime in this both these machines, or is how many, what is the RAM memory which is available. If I want to check it out, I can use this command model actually. So how to verify it? So if you come over here and if you go and let me execute some command like Ansible all hyphen m is a model, okay, and you have to give the model by name command model. Now, whenever you're using any model, guys, suppose for example, whenever you want to use a model in your command line, you have to use Ansible command space. You have to use hyphen m option. Hyphen m option specify that you are using a command actually. Okay, sorry, hyphen m option means it is a model actually. And here the model name is command model. And then always after the model name, you have to use a hyphen e option. Hyphen name is argument. So what argument you are saying that I need to check for the uptime in both the machines. Uptime will verify. Suppose if I go here and if I go to the node one, if I execute the command uptime here, uptime, what happened, man? Uptime. See here, it will show that my system is up from last 46 minutes, right? I think I've lost the connection. Let me log out. Let me try to log in node one again. SSH-Devops at the rate. I will give you the node one's IP address, public IP. Copy the public IP. Yeah, this is the node one. Right? So now if I execute the command uptime, so can you make out that this system is up and running from last 47 minutes, right? Node one. Same thing in the node two also, 47 minutes. Okay. So now what I want to do means I want to just run this command to verify. This is ad hoc way of using a command model, where with the help of a command model, I'm passing some uptime command so that the Ansible is going to execute this uptime command. So where it will execute? It will execute both on node one and node two. So shall we check it out? Yes. So enter. Can you see here? It says that your machine is up and running from last 47 minutes. Is it clear? The same command, if I want to check for the RAM memory, I will execute the command free -m and say enter. See, it shows you that what is a RAM memory, right? Your RAM memory is almost like 1 GB in my system. Like 957 is the total memory. Out of its used is this much, free this much, available at 615 MB. Like that, it is showing for both these nodes, node 1 and node 2. Am I clear, sir? Right? Say, for example, you want to go and you want to create under the node 1 or node 2. Suppose that, let me go to the temp directory. And here what happened, I want to create some file. So before it, in the under the temp itself, same thing under the node 1 also, I want to go inside a temp and I want to create a file here under the temp. So let me do one thing, let me remove all the files. I don't want all these directories and all, sorry. rm-rf star. I think it's not possible, you cannot remove it, but anyhow, that's fine. So what I will do here, I want to create a file. So what I will do, I'll just say Ansible all -m model, and I'll be using a command model, and I say -a, and I will use something like a touch command, touch of under slash temp. I want to create a file by name Alice file on both the nodes actually, right? I'll say enter. So you could see that it will create a file. How do you verify? Go to this server. You're already under the temp directory. Say ls. Can you see the file by name Alice has been created? Here also same thing. Alice has been created. Correct? Right? So like that actually. So you can use this command actually. Right? So sometimes some commands need a sudo permission. Say for example, you want to under the slash. Here you want to create one directory, something like mkdir India directory, right? So, so what happened whenever you are trying to do anything operation onto the slash, it needs a sudo permission. So for that, what you have to do that you have to just uh, create an mkdir slash India directory, something India, but it is better to use a sudo command because you are doing operation onto the slash, right? Like this. So it will create it. So come over here, go to the node one, go to the slash, cd slash, and say ls. Can you see a directory by name India? Like this, right? If you don't want it, you can remove it actually. How to remove it? Same command here. Use upper mark instead of mkdir, you can use rmdir. It will remove that directory. So with the help of a command model, we can execute any commands on the node 1 and node 2 actually. Right? That is what the command model do. Is it fine, sir? Any questions? Okay. Now you said that okay, Rajesh, like under the node 1 and node 2, this is node 1. I need an Apache to be installed, Apache package to be installed. So if you want to check like whether the package is there or not, Apache is installed or not, the simple way of checking is you can go with the /var www and HTML. If you get into this path signifies that the Apache is installed. If you say enter, it says that there is no such file or directory. It means that Apache is not installed. Same thing if you go to the CD to the /var www. First check, see it is not there. It means that Apache is not installed. So how do you install this Apache? Because it is a Ubuntu server, always you use a apt command. So always use a sudo apt install Apache 2 like this. This is a command we use it actually for installing the Apache package. But I don't want to do it individually. I want to do through Ansible. So through the command model only, you can do it actually. So how to do it? Simple. You have to just go and you have to just say sudo apt install Apache 2 -y and say, so if we run this command, Ansible-11 command model and say enter. So you could see that it will try to install the Apache on both the nodes, node 1 and node 2. Right? See, can you see here? It is installing it actually. Yeah, it has done. So it has installed the Apache. Can you see here? It has installed the Apache package, everything. Apache 2, see, setting up the Apache everything. How do you verify it on the node 1, node 2? Same thing. As I said earlier, like you have to go to the cd/var ww. Can you see the folder has been created now? And say HTML. See, you can check this folder structure has been created and say ls. You will see the file by name index.html. So with that, you can confirm whether the whether the Apache is installed, or else you can just say sudo systemctl status and Apache. Like this also you can confirm, right? Sudo apache 2.service, right? With this also you can confirm that Apache is installed in your system. Am I clear, sir? So with this simple command model, you are able to install the Apache or any command or any package you can execute with the help of a command model. Okay. Now here, okay, this is what the command model is there, fine. But there is something as a raw model. So where do you raw model? A raw model is also same thing. Whatever the command mod does, the same thing even raw model does. A small difference between the raw model with the command model is that actually in the command model, you cannot execute more than one command. Say, for example, if I go back here and if I try to do something like if I want to execute a command like uptime, free-m command, right? What else? Date command, something. So what happened, right? I'm trying to execute all these three commands now. So with the help of a command model, if I'm executing, the command model will throw error. See, it cannot do it because it is considering all these things as a command itself, actually, all these three as a command. But I want to execute all these commands. So in that case, you have to use a raw model. So raw model can execute more than one command at a time. And even for me also, when I was attending interview, one of the question was asked in answer, what is the difference between raw model and where do we use raw model? Like that he asked me. So I said it's like a command model only. Same thing, whatever we execute in the command line, we can even achieve through raw model. Then he said, what is the difference between raw and command? I said through the command model, you can execute only one command at a time. But raw model, you can execute more than one command. Like here, you could see that I'm executing uptime. So this is showing you uptime. This is the free command executing. It's a free -m option command, right? And finally, date command. See, a date command is getting executed. So all these three commands you have executed with help of a raw model. Actually.
So, one question here, doesn't it, the command module doesn't take ampersand to run as a parallel command, Rajesh?
Ampersand, a single ampersand means you are making, see in Linux actually, a single ampersand means you are making that process to run in the background. Double ampersand means it is an AND operator.
Okay.
Okay. So if you run that, Ansible might not understand it. Say, we'll try to even try that also. Suppose I'm using AND. So it doesn't make sense actually. That's what I'm trying to tell that here, I don't think that Ansible can able to recognize this as something like a separator. See, usually whenever you want to execute more than one command at a time in Linux, we have to always use a command separator. Say, for example, I want to execute ls command, date command, who command, all the commands. So I'll say ls command, I'll execute date command, I'll execute who command. All the three commands I want to execute at a time. So I can say ls semicolon date semicolon who. This is the way to do it actually. So ls,
So,
nothing is there. Assume that I created some files, touch, Alice, Bob, John, something. I'm creating some three files. Now if I execute this ls semicolon date semicolon, see, ls will display the files and directories. Date will execute the command, sorry, the output of the date output, who will show you who's the user who has logged into the system. So these three commands. So if I'm applying the same logic here with the help of a command model, it is not working. A raw model, it is working because raw is treating the semicolon as a separator. Now, when you say, okay, let us try to check about the with the command itself and let's see now. See, it is throwing error. It is not recognizing what is ANDed. Or else if you're using single and also it will not work actually. That's a thing. Because single and or else I will even remove the space also just for your confirmation. It will not work, sir. It will throw error. Failed. It is not able to recognize it. Actually. It is not able to recognize this. Clear? So only you can
yeah,
use a raw
got it.
model. Okay. Fine. Good. Now, apart from this, there are many other models are there. Like for example, we have something known as a copy model. We have something known as a fetch model. We have something known as a package model. What else you have, sir? We have something known as a yum model or app model. We have a yum model. We have a yum underscore repository. Like that, you have tons and tons of models are there. It is all based on our requirement. We will be using these models actually. So I'm just displaying some 10, but there are multiple models are there. Many models. As I said, more than 5,000 models are there. Now let us see few other models so that we will be comfortable in understanding what is this model is all about. Right? Now, Good.
Sir, in the notes, just write the difference between command and try in one line, sir.
Command means okay. Okay. Now let us try to understand about the copy model. See, copy model is simple. We know that whenever you want to copy any file, generally in any operating system, it could be Windows or Linux. What we'll do, we'll use a CP command and we will provide the source file. Like suppose I have a file by name file1, right? Under the temp, I have a file1. Under the temp, I have a file1. I want to copy to some other location. Say, for example, I want to copy under the slash where I want to copy, right? So you need to provide. So source you need to provide and you need to provide the destination. This is the syntax commonly we use. So copy command, source and destination. Same thing, assume that you are having some file here in Ansible server, something like a file1. So I want to copy this file, okay, into the node under the temp, I want to copy it, right? So how do you do it? How do you copy under the temp? So we have to use a copy model. Actually. Copy model is used to copy a file from the Ansible server to the nodes actually, right? Node 1, node 2. So what is a classical example? Where do we use a copy? Most of the time we use a copy because, say for example, you have installed the Apache here. You have installed the Apache here. So after installing Apache, we know that we under the node 1, node 2, you'll get this folder structure or directory structure like /var www HTML. We saw that, right? Some time back. Same thing, even the node also, we have the same folder /var www HTML. So once you install the Apache package, you're going to get this directory structure. Now, we know that this is the path where all your web pages will be placed, or all the web pages will be placed. Usually, have to keep all the web pages here. Now, assume that in the Ansible server, okay, we have some zip file where all that zip file contain the whole package. It means that the whole HTML, CSS file, everything will be there. So, if you're having that package.zip file, right? You're having the package.zip file locally in your system, that means in your Ansible server. You want to copy this package.zip under the /var HTML. So then you have to use a copy model. So what will do that? Copy model source is src is nothing but your under something under slash home DevOps. Under that you have kept that package.zip file. Okay, that's the zip file you have kept it, right? And where do you want to copy it? Okay, under destination, I want to copy it to the /var ww HTML like this. This is what the copy module will do. Am I clear, sir? Shall we see some example? Okay, before getting into a thing, actually, first let us see that what are the different models are there. Is there any way to display all the models in the Ansible server? Yes, sir, there is a way. How to do that? There is a command by name Ansible-doc command. If you execute Ansible-doc and say -L option, -L means list all the models and say enter. So it will take time because so many models are there. It will take time to collect all the models. So can you see here? It is displaying all the models. So if you go to the top, you could see that it is showing you some models related to the Amazon Linux. So you are having Amazon cloud, right? AWS cloud, right? So related to that, Ansible is showing you some commands because Ansible will also work for most of the cloud provider also. Suppose you want to do some operation onto the cloud itself, Ansible will do it actually, right? So for example, I want to go and create an infrastructure like EC2 instance I want to create. I want to create an S3 bucket, right? You can do everything to the Ansible also. Ansible will support that. So here, it is showing you here that there are many models are there which are related to the cloud AWS. So I'll just press the space bar, come down. See Ansible Windows. So you can, whenever you want to do any operation on the Windows, yeah, Windows there, right? Azure is also there, right? See, checkpoint. This is related to for your networking devices. Because as I said, right, Cisco, see, Cisco. So many models are there, sir. See, community edition model, networking model, VMware model, no, Fortinet. This is for your, like, firewall devices and everything, right? That company. See, so many models are there. That's the reason I said that there are more models are there actually. A lot of models are there, right? Now, out of all these models, I want to check for the copy model. So you can use Ansible-doc. You can use pipette to grep -I copy model like this. You can just, if you search for what happened, man? Incorrect option password.
Sir, I have a question.
Once again, incorrect option password detailed documentation. Yeah, why? Copy model is there or not? Oh, it is there. Copy model is a copy model, but why it is not grabbing it? Strange. Why grep is not working?
Can you write in the
Incorrect.
double quote copy?
Doesn't matter. Why this is not working? It should work. Okay, anyhow, so in this, what I'm trying to tell that in this Ansible-doc command, you will get all the models. So if you want to particularly no, display the information about some model, say for example, copy, you can just say copy here. So Ansible-doc space hyphen copy, if space copy, if you execute, so it will show you that this is a model actually. So can you see here? So okay, yeah, now I got it. So it has been changed now, man. So copy model has been changed to Ansible built-in copy like this. Okay, that's the reason I think. Now, if I, yeah, Ansible dot built-in dot copy. BUIL. Yeah, now they've changed all these things. Yeah. Why it is not showing you? Built-in dot copy. Same thing I'm using it. Anyway,
I
that's
think
fine. Okay.
we need to use -L to list all the modules, right?
Right. Stay, yeah, sorry, man. I'm very sorry. Yeah. -L you have to use. Yeah, list. Yeah, correct. What is it is right. Yeah, this is what it is actually. Or else if you try to do the copy model, even it will show that only. Yeah. So it is showing you all other related model. But we need to search here. So this will be quite complex. So now they change everything to Ansible built-in dot copy model. Like that they have used it actually. So right, this is what it is. So now if you want to just understand about a particular model itself, so you can just say like this. Ansible dot built-in BUILT built-in dot model copy model, right? But what happened? The Ansible provides you the provides you such a way that you need not to really give all these details like this. You can even remove this and then just use copy itself. So it will still show you. Okay. So now the thing is here that what it says that the Ansible built-in dot copy model copy a file or a directory structure from a local to the remote machine to the location onto the remote machine. So they have given some information about this. And apart from this, there is something like a stat model is also there, file model is also there, fetch model is also there. So related to this copy, there are many other models are also there which you can make use of. So that's how they're given. And in Windows, whenever you want to use it, you have to use Ansible.windows.win_copy. This is the model we'll be using for the Windows platform or Windows nodes actually. Now, if you come down here, right, they have given an attributes actually. Attribute is something like where you have to pass some argument or the parameters. When you're using this model, you have to pass some argument or parameter, then use something as an attribute. So there's an attribute known as a backup. There's an attribute by name checksum. There's a attribute by name content, a decrypt, a destination, right? So if you're seeing red color, it means that it is a must, it is required. It means that whenever using copy model, you have to pass the destination. Whereas in other things, whereas it is showing you as an orange color, these are all not mandatory. I mean, if you want, you can use it or you can ignore it actually. Right? So if you come down, there are many attributes are there. Like if you come down, see force is there, follow group is there. So like that. So what I'm interested more about that, what are the important parameter what you have to pass. So with the help of a red color, I'll be able to understand it actually. Right? Now, if you come down, right, they have mentioned it about the attribute and all. If you come down, I'm more interested with the example actually. See, can you see here? These are the examples. So how to use that model in your real time? So you have to use the model with the same full name, ansible.builtin.copy. You have to give the source of the file and you have to give the destination path where you are copying. Apart from this, suppose while copying it, the file should have ownership of foo. It should have a group with the name foo and the mode, the permission, what it is. So you need to provide all these details, means you can also pass even this also. Right? So there are various examples are there. Whenever you are working or you are using any models at your project, first you have to open the documentation, Ansible doc, and then like you have to go through, you have to understand at the very beginning what exactly the model does. Finally, what you have to do that, you have to come at the end of the page and you have to see that what exactly examples they're given it. So these examples will give you some information about like how to use that model, right? The same thing you can even go and you can even check even in your Google also. If you go on Google checkout, you will get the official documentation on the Ansible copy model, and you can see there also. There also they have given examples, right? This is what it is. And you could see that all these models are written by the core Ansible core team itself. And this is a fellow, Michel Dehan. He's a person who has designed the Ansible tool actually. The whole Ansible tool was designed by this person only, right? So Ansible, as you know, it is acquired by Red Hat, right? Long back. Before that, Ansible was an open source tool which was designed by the Mitchell Dehan. So he still, most of the models and all are being maintained and written by his teammate only, right? So, okay. So this is what it is. So let us see how to use these models, right? The copy model in our, we'll see an examples actually. Okay, guys. Okay, very good.
Sir, I have question.
Yeah, sir. Yeah, good. Now you can ask question. Yeah.
I have question regarding the Ansible and Terraform. Okay, how it is different and Terraform is different than Ansible. So most of the model I can see that is similar to the Terraform.
Mm-hmm. Correct. Now the problem is that this question has been asked a lot of time. I think in my Terraform class also I've explained this. See, basically, when you're using Ansible basically it is used as a configuration management tool. Where the Terraform it acts like a infrastructure as a code tool, right? So the main emphasis of the Terraform is always you have to go and create an infrastructure in any cloud platform in any cloud provider. Say in case of AWS or in case of GCP or in Azure, you can go and create it. The infrastructure. Say for example, you want to create a virtual machine, you want to create a storage, you want to create like a virtual network, you want to create a database. You can do everything to the Terraform. Same thing with even with Ansible also. But the main difference is that actually Ansible is not purely meant for it is not purely meant for doing any kind of infrastructure creation. Apart from that, the main important emphasis of the Ansible tool is for the configuration management. Suppose you want to install any kind of a software or you want to do any kind of a patching on an operating system. So whenever you want to purely do any operation onto the operating system itself, then only we use this Ansible tool. So Ansible will act like a configuration management tool actually. Now, when it comes to Terraform also can create an infrastructure in AWS or Azure. Even the Ansible also can create an infrastructure in AWS or in any cloud provider, because there are many cloud where even Ansible also supports now, right? But the thing is that actually that we know that when the Terraform is used for creating infrastructure, Terraform will always maintain a state information. State means whatever the infrastructure is created. So what Terraform will do, Terraform will maintain a state file. So with the help of a state file, Terraform will know that, okay, these are the infrastructure which has been created. It will manage or maintain the state. The same thing Ansible doesn't do that actually. Ansible doesn't maintain any state information about what are the infrastructure you have created. Suppose I have created infrastructure, some virtual machine I have created using Ansible. Suppose you apply the same again, you execute the same command, it will create one more. It will not throw error saying that already this infrastructure or this virtual machine is already there. It will not throw you. The same thing if you do the Terraform, you are trying to create one virtual machine. And if you try to apply the same thing again, Terraform will say that, okay, already this is in place. It means that already this infrastructure is there in the cloud environment. So it will not recreate it. So always Terraform will maintain an idempotency, whereas Ansible it doesn't manage all those idempotency, right? This is what some differences you can tell in it. Of course, there are many other differences are there. I think in my Terraform session, I've already given elaborative information about this, right? And also I've discussed about what is the difference between Terraform and Ansible, difference between the Ansible or Terraform with the cloud formation templating, right? All such things have I think in fifth or sixth session of Terraform, I've discussed all these things. Clear? Okay. Now,
Got it.
yeah. Now, so what to do now? So you will say that, Rajesh, I will, in my case, I have this, let me create an answer, let me create some file, touch Alice. So where is that file is a Alice file? The Alice file is there under /home DevOps Alice. This is the file. I want to copy this file. I want to copy this file, right? So how do you copy it? You will just say Ansible hyphen, sorry, not all, hyphen M, or else let me do thing. Let me even write some text also. Something hello greater than Alice. So you're just writing cat of Alice. So you could see that this is the content of that file, right? Now I want to copy this file, right? So how to do it? So I'll use an Ansible hyphen M model. So earlier we used to use this model with the same, we used to mention like this actually. Now what happened, right? The model is something like Ansible dot built-in, built-in, built-in dot copy. This is how the model name is now. Now it's not just copy, it is Ansible dot built-in dot copy, and you have to use a hyphen A, right? You can use a double quotes or you can use a single quote, anything. So whenever you want to pass any argument, can you see at the earlier also how I was doing? When I was executing all previous commands like raw model or command model. Uh, or else let me do thing, let me execute the history command. So can you see here how I was doing? I was using Ansible all hyphen M command hyphen A double quotes I was using. So either you can use a double quotes or a single quote. From now, what I will do that I will be using single quote only. So Ansible all hyphen M Ansible dot built-in built built-in dot, sorry, copy model, right? So hyphen A source src source. What is the source? Source is nothing but our /home DevOps. Under that I have a file by name uh, Alice file, right? Destination DST, where you want to copy it. I want to copy under the temp directory, tmp temp directory, and close with the single quote. This is how you have to get actually. This is the command and say enter. Okay. I think hyphen M. What is the spelling, man? Ansible doc. Ansible dot built, right? Built-in dot copy. Built-in dot copy. Correct, right? Ansible all hyphen M hyphen A source src. It's not colon, sorry. It is not colon, it is equal, sorry. That is what. Right? Now you could see that it has copied it. See source. So source, the state of the file is file. So it has source means it has took a file from the source, and the destination it has copied it. Right? This is a MD check file and all it has used, and this is a default mode it has used, and the owner is DevOps. So it has copied everything. If you go to the node one and you go to the temp directory, oh man, what is it? I think I'm losing this connections. Yeah, I'm using these connections. So let me quickly log into the node one, copy. I think I need to execute this. The node 2 copy, I'll copy the public IP, the node 2, copy the public IP, the node 2. I've increased the timeout also, but still it is logging out. Okay. Okay. So node 1 and node 2. Okay. So now if you go to the node 1, you go to the temp and you can see that Alice file has been copied here. Right? Same thing in the node 2. Straight to the temp, Alice file has been copied. If you do a cat of Alice, you could see that content. Am I clear, sir? Now, one thing you have to observe very carefully here at this point of time that when you're executing this command, Ansible-all everything, it has executed, right? It has executed it. Always it will show in a orange color. So orange color means changed. It means that it is first time it is doing. So what Ansible will do that when I trying to Ansible, when it is trying to execute it, it is going to check whether that file exists or not. Yeah, the file exists. Whether in the destination path, whether the file is there or not. So it checks it. If it is not checks it, then it will try to copy it actually. Right? It will always show in the orange color actually like this. It means that whenever it is executing for the first time, right? And apart from this, there is one more important which I want to show. I think it will not show here. Something like RC is there. It is something like return count that is not displaying here. In some other command, I will show you about that. So that is also very much important actually. Okay. Now, because you have copied it into the temp directory, if you do an LSF and L of Alice, you could see that this is something, a default permission you are getting it actually. Okay. So you say that, okay, Rajesh, while copying it, I want to get the full permission, right? In that case, what happened that you have to pass a mode actually. Yeah. So apart from destination, you have to even pass a mode. Mode is equal to 777. You're giving the complete permission like this and say enter. So now you could see that actually it will try to copy that file again, but this time what happened, right? If you do ls, can you see it will give you the full permission. So if you execute ls-l alice, see, you got the full permission now. So how do you do it? Because you are passing a mode here. What is the mode? 777 like that. How do you get all this information? Through the official documentation only. You'll get all this information. So if you go to the Ansible, and same thing, Ansible-doc and just a copy. So if you come down and if you go to the examples, they have very clearly given, right, about something as a mode actually. See, mode means you whenever you want to copy it actually. Am I clear, sir? Okay, fine, good. What else is there? Okay. For example, assume that I want to copy a file. Assume that, okay, let me do one thing. Let me try to create a remote file. Touch Bob. Echo I something greater than Bob. Okay. Now, when you're copying a file, you could see that, sir, when you're copying a file, and after you copy the file using copy model, if you go to the temp directory, right, and if you do LSF and L of Alice, so it will show you that the user ID is DevOps, the group ID is DevOps actually. So it means that by default, whichever user is there with that user ID and group ID, the file is getting created. Now my question comes, sir, when I'm copying it, actually, I want to copy the file with some username and with some group ID, right? How to do that actually? Say, for example, in this case, so if you go to the official document also, Ansible doc, and if you go at the end, yeah, I think I've come very at the end. If you see these examples also, so in these examples also, they have give you the ownership and they've given the group also. So while copying it, I need to copy under some owner. So how to do that? So for that, suppose assume that I am creating, how many users are there here in our, so Mahesh is there and even Sandeep is there. So I want to copy the file, but it should be under the Mahesh user and the group should be with Mahesh and the group should be Sandeep. So you need to have two users. One is a Mahesh user and other is a group user actually, right? So for that, what you will do? You need to create a user account in both node 1 and node 2. So if I execute ID and say Mahesh, so can you see there is no user by name Mahesh? Even here also, Mahesh is not there, right? Correct? And also, if you want to verify whether the uh, Sandeep is there as a group, if you open vi sudo vi etc a group file, see group file. If you execute a group, if you open this file, even if you check it here also, there is no Sandeep. Sandeep is not there. So you need to create a group by name, create a group by name Sandeep, create a user account by name Mahesh. How to do that? So we will go to the node 1. I'll just simply use something like a user add Mahesh, right? Okay, I have to use a sudo command, right? And a sudo group add group, group add Suresh, or else Sandeep, right? How do you verify ID Mahesh? Yeah, this user exists now. How do you check it out for the group? So I'll say cat of etc groups. So you could see that Sandeep has been added here. The same thing you have to do it here in node 2 also. So user add sudo user add Mahesh sudo group add Sandeep. Yeah. Now when I'm trying to copy the Bob file, shall I pass this user and the group? Yes, sir, I can pass it actually. Same thing. Now you could see that I'll use the same command, Ansible built-in copy. So this time I'll be using Bob, right? And the destination would be, what is it? The destination would be temporally. And then like I will be giving the owner, right? What is it actually? I'll be giving a owner, OWNER. Owner of the file will be Mahesh and the group will be Sandeep. And the mode permission will be 664 like this. So shall we run this command? Yes, run this command. Okay. Ansible field, white field. Destination source is equal to /home DevOps Bob. Destination temp. Owner is equal to Mahesh. Group is equal to Sandeep. Correct only, right? Temp owner is equal to Mahesh. Group is equal to.
On destination also, we should have owner and group, right?
That's what destination server is, but this is server, right? Here already created user, right? Mahesh and group Sandeep. Same thing with the node also, right? So ID Mahesh, it's there, right? And cat of etc group. It is there actually. You're saying from source, you're saying, huh? So
Yes.
why it is failing? Permission operation not permitted. So ch1 failed message not permitted.
Maybe we should add -hyphen become true.
Not here. That we will do it here. Um, Strange. Good. /home DevOps log. Man, this was all working properly without any issue. Why this like this it is showing you? Can use with the copy model only I can use it. Operation not permitted. Not sure that can you can't use sudo here and all. So here operation not permitted because I'm logging as a DevOps user. I think that's a reason I'm not able to do it actually. Otherwise, if you do it everything to root user, it will work.
So
Okay.
ad hoc only we can use -b, right? If
-b. What is the -b option, right?
-hyphen become true.
No, that is there, but this option is there or not here. I have to check that one in the command line. Got it? What I'm asking.
So
So if
at
I
the
do,
last, give -v, sir, verbose. Let's see how exact error.
where it is -v option here. Huh?
At the last, -v. Here we can see the detailed error normally.
That's what operation not CH1 operation not permitted. It is not doing because that you are working as a DevOps, right? For some reason it is not doing it actually.
But you have
So
added, sir, in the sudo permission, right?
yeah, sudo permission is added, but still it is not working. You need to check this why it is not working. Okay.
No. In the destination, does that folder exist /temp? Because
It
no,
exists, right?
in a Bob or something.
This is a source file, ma'am, Bob. This is it. We are copying to a destination to the temp only. Here only you have to copy. See, it has copied. Bob has copied, but it is not given that Mahesh and Suresh here. It has copied it actually. But I don't want Suri temp. But why it is not showing you this one? It is failing because of this ownership. It is not taking it. I'm not sure when it is. It should show. It should work actually. See, for example, in our case here, if I'm doing sudo add user Mahesh or user add Mahesh. Okay, sudo group add group add something. Okay, let's run this command. No operation parameter. So I just even did it in Ansible server also. So I'll get back to this, guys. Actually, the same thing, if you are using through root, it will work because root will not throw all this error. I've verified even for the root also. It doesn't throw. Whereas for this only, I think some option I have to use here. -b something. -b become something you have to use it here. -b something you have to use actually. I'm not sure. -b become user something like that you have to share. Means become with the DevOps does not simplifies actually. Yeah, you have to use this only privilege. -fm become user become. So let me use this also. I think it should not give any equals. Come user without anything. I have to check it out. So run operations with become does not imply password prompting. Run operations as this user. Default is equal to root. Okay, if become user, then specify become open user. So default is sudo use sudo doc df become to list all the choice. Okay, I'll check this, man. I'll check and I'll get back to you. I think we have to use the same option -fm become. Okay, and then like you need to mention with which user you are running it actually. I think we have to run through the DevOps user only. But this is not working here. Okay, I'll get back to you guys. Don't worry. This one I will check it out. Okay. Now the thing is that actually here, anyhow it is getting copied here. Like for example, it is getting copied, no doubt. In the temp, it is getting copied as of now with the other user only, right? Now the stuff is that here, when you're copying it, actually, like the Bob is getting copied it, no doubt. The Bob file has this. Now assume that I'm trying to copy, or I'm going to create or I'm going to add some more content into the same file, right? Like how are you something by something like that. So in the main Ansible server, I have edited this file, Bob file. I have edited this Bob file. Now what happened? Already the Bob has been copied. The Bob has been copied under the node one, both, right? It has already has a content, like this is the one content, right? So now what I will do that when I try to run Ansible-copy command, I mean Ansible- this one, when I try to copy it actually. So let me remove all these things to make it little simplified. I'll remove all these things. I will use a -m model, copy, and then like I will give it, and also I'll remove this ownership also. It is not really working now, right? And also I don't want this mode also. Let me remove as of now for time being. So when I try to copy it, so what it will do, the command will work actually. It will try to copy it, right? If you go to the node one, you could see that copy has did it. And if you open the cat of Bob file, you will see that it has the latest content, right? But now your question is that actually that, sir, when you're copying it actually, like I don't want to really overwrite it. I want the previous changes also. Say for example, if you say that, okay, before I copy it, or else suppose that you copied it. Now you said, okay, restore back to the previous, what the file content was, right? Then it is very difficult, right? You don't know like what are the things which you have copied, how to restore back. So it is always better that before you try to do a copy, first you have to take a backup of an existing file, and then you take a copy actually. You got it? What I'm saying that before you copy it, you have to first take a backup of that file and then you do a copy. So in that case, what we do basically that actually that we use some parameters. Say for example, I have a Bob file. Again, I'll open the Bob file. I'll open the Bob file. Sorry, vi Bob file and something. I will add this string actually. Right. So now when you say that Raj, I want to copy this Bob file. So you will try to copy with the help of a copy model. But now the thing is that it will try to, what it will do that when you're executing this command, it will try to overwrite everything and a fresh changes will be there under the node 1 and node 2, right? Now you say that no, it want to copy it, but I want to take a backup of the existing one. Then only after that only I have to copy it. So then in that case, you have to use a parameter here. Backup is equal to yes. If you say yes like this, what it will do that, what Ansible will do, first it will try to take a backup of this node, whatever the file exists, right? It will take a backup of that, and then only it will try to copy a file, actually, right? So it is already done. If you go here and if you do an ls-l, can you see here, it has took a backup of this Bob file first, and then only the latest thing it has been copied. So if you do a cat of Bob, so now you could see that it will have a latest of all the changes. But if you have a previous backup, whatever it did, right? Now, if you say cat, see, it has the previous content. These are the previous content, right? Later you added this string, right? So always that whenever you want to copy it, it is always better to take a backup of that file and then only you copy it actually. So that's why we use this backup is equal to yes. So where you'll get all these options, guys, you'll get through documentation only. If you go through the examples or the documentation, they would have given clearly how to use these options in your at your work actually. Am I clear, sir?
Sir, command is working. I have pasted in the chat.
What is the command?
Just you
Hyphen n
need
copy,
to
hyphen A. Oh, hyphen B you
uh,
have to pass. That's all.
yes.
Oh, Superman. Okay.
At the last, we need to say just become
Okay.
open app and
One
become.
second. Yeah. One second. Thank you. You want to copy the previous one? Yeah. Yeah. What is it actually? Hyphen B option. Huh?
Yes.
Here and here.
No, sir.
At last.
Outside.
Yes. At last.
After the quote, sir.
After quote. After quote.
Okay. Oh, thank you, man. But yeah, why it didn't work earlier? Hyphen. Okay, it'll work now. Oh.
No. Just give the hyphen become.
Oh, okay. Hyphen full. You have to become. Then.
Yeah. That's
That's
it.
all. Okay.
Yes. No.
Okay.
Something is missing, sir.
Oh, no. It also. I have added these things, right? Let me remove this. Good. Anyhow. Yeah, this one I'll remove. Now I think it'll work. Yeah, it worked. Yeah, thank you, man.
It's okay.
Okay, so if I do an ls if an L of Bob, it will show that my user and Sandeep. Yeah, this is what I need. Good. But why it didn't took in inside? Why it is not taking here? It should have taken anyhow, that's fine. Okay. Good, man. What else you need? Okay. Let us try to, let me think, or like if there is any example which I want to do it. Say, for example, assume that here itself, under the node one itself, suppose something like you have some file, say for example, something slash of anything, I'll say Ravi, under that something file.txt is there. Here itself, under node one, file.txt, under the slash Ravi. So you need to copy that slash Ravi file.txt to slash temp, you have to copy it actually. So in the same node itself, so earlier what happened? The copy module is going to copy from here to here. So it means that from the Ansible server to the node 1 and node 2. But I want to copy locally in the nodes itself, like node 1 and node 2. Both are having this Ravi file.txt. I want to copy this from slash Ravi file.txt to slash temp. Like that, you want to copy it actually. Right? How to copy it actually? How to do that actually? Right? So there, in that case, I don't remember, guys. Let me check it actually. If you go to the Ansible doc, long back I remember this, but right now, oh, I can forget, man. So many things. An example only somewhere it is there actually. Wait 1 second. I want to just check actually. Built in. Okay. Copy the permission. Backup is yes, that is there. This is what remote source is equal to yes. This is what I need. Okay, fine. So now what I will do, let me do one thing. Let me go to the node one and let me try to do a sudo mkdir mkdir slash Ravi. Get inside the slash Ravi. Create a file, touch of file1.txt, something. Same thing, you need to do the same thing here also. In case of node 2 also. cd mkdir sudo, oh man, I lost the connection. So same thing in a node 2 also I have to do it. So sudo mkdir slash Ravi and sudo touch slash Ravi slash file, what is it? File.txt, file1.txt. Yeah. Right. So I've already created this actually. Now what I will do here basically is that actually that I'll try to run Ansible -m all -m model is copy. Okay, -a option because it's an argument. Source is equal to what is it? Slash Ravi slash file1.txt. Destination is equal to under the temp only you want to copy it actually. Okay, so remote underscore source is equal to yes. And if you want to add mode, you can even add mode also, like 7777 something. Can you check it out? See here, it means that basically here itself from this system itself. So what I did that here, you're not trying to copy any kind of a file from Ansible server to here, but whereas you are trying to copy this file which already exists in this nodes itself under the slash Ravi file1, you are copying to temp actually. Can you verify it? Go here. Okay, go to the slash temp, enter and say ls. Can you see file1.txt has been copied? Same thing with the here also. Am I clear, sir? So such minute question also they might ask in interview. Suppose I don't want to really copy from the Ansible server to the node and node 2. From the node itself, I want to do operation. copying or something, then you have to use this option on the remote underscore source is equal to yes, like this. So that's the reason, guys, you have to use the documentation heavily. If you use the documentation heavily, if you go through the documentation, you will be able to understand everything. So one more is there. I don't have a file, but I have to just copy a content like that. So how to do that? So I'll use the same thing. Ansible-all-m. There is one option is there by name content. Content like this. Content is equal to something. This is Ansible server. Something. This is the content. Destination where I want to copy this content destination. I want to copy the destination content as something like a new file, something new file.txt. Right? Like this, you can. It means that here, 1 second, guys. Here, what happened? You are just giving a content. 1 second. Right? Here, sorry. Here, you are just giving a content. Right? So, with the help of a content, right, you are trying to create a copy itself. So if you go to the command, you could see that this is a content. So this whole content will be copied to a file by name new file.txt. So if you go to the node 1 and if you execute ls, can you see a new file.txt has been created. So if you do a cat of new file.txt, you will see that content. Am I clear, sir? So it's not only a file, you can even pass the content also directly like this content also with the help of this content, right? Same thing. Again, where you're going to get all this information? Through your documentation only. Am I clear on this, sir? Is it fine? Suppose you want to fetch a file. Suppose you're having some file. Say, for example, you say that Rajesh, under the node itself, I'm having some file here. I want to copy that file from the node to the server, to the Ansible server. I want to fetch it. So there is something like a fetch module actually. Fetch module, what will do that? It's going to copy or it's going to do reverse of the copy. So what copy module will do? Copy module will try to copy a file from the Ansible server to the node 1. Now you say that I have some files in the node 1 or node 2. I want to copy those files under the Ansible server. Then in that case, you'll be using a fetch module. So where do you use all such things? Yeah, in the real time, sometimes we use this, all these models, we use it actually. Okay, so same thing, guys. If you have to go through the documentation, means you have to go through the Ansible doc, and just do a fetch command, fetch. So can you see it? There is something like fetch is there, and you could see that it is using Ansible built-in .fetch. So this is the complete model name, but you can even give a shortcut name as fetch also, it will work, right? And you could see that it is the library or the where exactly the code is written. This is the path or this is the model path where fetch.py is there. And this model works like a same copy model, but it is a reverse order, right? So how do you do it actually, right? Say for example, in our case, you know that under the file, under the node 1 and node 2, right? We have a file by name etc password file. If you execute the etc, or if you just check, see this file exists. Even this file exists even here also, right? lsfnl slash etc password. I want to copy this file password file. I have to copy this file. Where I have to copy? I have to copy under somewhere here, assume that if you do a cd to slash and say enter and say ls, do you have anywhere by name directory by name logs? No, right? So you want to copy under some folder by name logs, right? For example, if I execute sudo mkdir slash logs, or it's while running itself, it will create it. So I want to copy those etc password file into the logs folder. See, cd to the logs folder. Here I want to copy it. So how to do that? See, Ansible all -m fetch model -a source is equal to etc possibility. So now the source here in this case will be the source will be from node or node 2, right? Destination is equal to logs folder is equal to slash logs actually. Like this. That's all. And say enter. Okay, unable to create it, permission denied. Okay, I think you have to again use the -fn become. Mhm. Destination is equal to, this should work, man. TST is equal to /logs. Become unable to create a local directory logs. Okay. Okay, it is not able to create it under this, it's not able to clear it. That's what I think. Yeah, even this will not work, guys. Because what it is doing is under the logs, it is going to create an IP address of this node 1 and node 2. Under that, it has to copy the etc. Under the etc, it has to copy the password file. So that's what it is not working. What I will do, I'll make it simple. I'll try to have a file here. Under the node 1, I will have something like a file 1. Okay. I will have a file 1. File 1. Same thing in the node 2, I'll also have a file 1. Touch of file 1. I'll make it more simple so that things will, right? Here, what I will do that under the /home DevOps, I want to copy that file 1. So what you will do that, you will try to fetch the file. The source is under /home DevOps. There is a file 1 is there. And where you want to copy it, you want to copy to the /home DevOps. Right? Destination. And this is not required. Let's see, it will work or not. So it has worked. Sorry. Now, when you do an ls, can you see here? So when you're trying to copy, what it has did means basically how it has copied. First, it has created a folder with the IP address of this server, node 1, and this IP address of this node 2. So under this folder, 172.31.12. Right, and say ls. Can you see under the home DevOps? It has tried to copy the file 1 like this. Right. So this is how it means that you want to copy a file means you have to use a fetch model. So what it is trying to do means whenever you're trying to copy it, you are trying to give the whole path itself actually. Right? If you check the syntax, see, you are given the whole path itself. The source is this itself. So what it is doing, it is trying to copy this whole content itself, along with the home directory, along with the DevOps user, along with everything, even it is copying everything. So it is trying to create the same data structure even in your Ansible server like this. So that's the reason it will try to first create an IP address with that name, because to differentiate between what are those nodes, right? It will try to first create a folder with that IP address of the node 1, and then it will try to create a directory structure of the whatever the source we have, right? The same thing it will try to create actually. Am I clear, sir? Right? Okay, fine. I think this much is sufficient for today. So what we are going to learn in next class, we are going to continue from here itself, like from the package, apt-m, file, line and file model. Many other models are there which you are going to cover it actually, which will be covering it. Okay. So now, let's see, guys. If possible, I will try to take at 9 o'clock. Already, I told before I start the class, I already told that I will not take the next session. But because we are already we have not took 2 sessions in this week, right? So just to cover up, okay, I will plan to take at. Is it fine if I take little? I'll just take 1 hour class today. Is it possible to join at 9:30 night, 9:30 to 10:30? I will try to. I'll try to come back home before 9:30 itself. Is it possible? If not, then we will take up tomorrow only. If not possible, then we'll take. Let's do one thing. Let's not have any kind of a confusion. Let's have a class tomorrow only. Okay. So tomorrow, guys, tomorrow we'll continue with the Ansible session itself at the evening. Morning tomorrow, I will try to take a Azure class tomorrow. Okay. Whoever are, I think Sandeep is there. Sandeep and Chaneke, you can join the class tomorrow.
Yeah, okay, sir.
Okay. Fine. And tomorrow morning, 9 o'clock, 9 a.m. IST, will be having a Azure session. And today we don't have an Ansible session. Tomorrow only we'll have. Okay. Thank you then. Let me stop the recording.